right, Jay, thanks very much. And here we are at Volunteer on this beautiful Williamsport day, getting ready for Little League World Series baseball. And the Little League World Series is presented by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. After the rainouts yesterday, these are the winners from the opening round games in our first matchup of all of the opening round winners. On the international side, Australia off a monumental, historic win for them against the team from the Latin American region, the kids from Panama. Hi, everybody. Dave Fleming alongside Kyle Peterson. So, Kyle, here we go, and we'll see all 8 of the opening round winners. Australia, a team that had never won a game here in Williamsport to start their Little League World Series until they did it a few days ago.
Yeah, they can't say that anymore, which is a good thing if you're Team Australia. And a lot of that was because of the right arm of Clayton Campbell. We'll see him on the mound again today. He didn't give up a hit in 5 innings in Australia's Game 1 win.
And you and I will talk a lot about that because that is a very big story in this game. With the rain out yesterday, because of the mandatory rest rules, Clayton Campbell is going to start for that team. The team from Australia would not have been able to pitch at the regularly scheduled time yesterday. Because he gets an extra day, he is eligible, and Australia is going to use him.
And I like it. I'm glad that they are. I mean, he was really good the other day. 66 pitches in 5 innings, didn't walk anybody, struck out 7. Against a team in Italy that we've seen has scored some runs. I mean, they scored 7 runs against Mexico, a few right there against Oregon. Little different deal today against this Panama offense, which we'll talk more about here soon.
Yeah, Panama had a very impressive opening round performance. So here we go. And ball 1 from the starting pitcher, Espi Pineda, who is the cleanup hitter for this Panama team, and now today on the mound.
Look at that age. He's 11 years old. Panama makes it back here next year. Espi Pineda can be on that team, one of the youngest kids here at the Little League World Series. He's already hit a home run, and today we'll see him on the mound.
He's got a good fastball. That one at 72 miles an hour. So 1-1 the count to Ethan Treble, the first baseman and leadoff hitter. Right on the corner again, 1-2.
1-2.
Ethan is a spirited kid.
Like him over at first base. Glove's about half as big as he is.
That's our first attempt at a breaking ball, missed up and away.
2-2.
Mike Cook is the home plate umpire. You hear his voice wearing the microphone for us. Right there, that same spot. And that is the first out of the game.
The way the ball comes out of this kid's hand. 11 years old, watch the head stay on. Closes that front side a little bit. You see against right-handed hitters, that's going to be tough for them to pick the ball up. But into the low 70s, and first out of the game's a strikeout for Espi Pineda.
And he works with a nice quick rhythm. That ball is hit foul off the bat of Harrison Wheeldon, the shortstop, hitting second for Australia. I'll show you the MLB equivalent in terms of the velocity. Of course, we play on a field size much smaller than a big league field, so in terms of reaction time for the hitter, swing and a miss on a 74-mile-per-hour fastball. For a big leaguer, that's the equivalent of a fastball at 96.
Yeah, he's running it up there. I mean, we've seen fastballs, and we could later on today, as high as 80 miles an hour so far at this Little League World Series. But that's getting it up there in a hurry.
Wheeldon strikes out swinging. So 2 down with Clayton Campbell coming up. Little League World Series Baseball, division of Little League International, 16 teams. They play a modified double elimination tournament in Williamsport. All the kids are between 10 and 13 years old. We play 6-inning games on field size, 2/3 conventional size. And of course, those mandatory minimum play rules mean every kid gets a chance to play in every game. And a ball to big, strong Clayton Campbell. We'll see him on the mound. He's their third place hitter. And they have a very literal nickname for Clayton.
Big guy. Makes sense.
Ahead of the count, 2-0. This is some power versus power. Pineda against Campbell, who in the opening round win for Australia saw in 3 at-bats, 3 total pitches. So this is a patient at-bat for him. He was ready to swing the bat. 3-0. Leonardo Bernal is one of the leaders of Panama. He's their catcher.
Demonstrative back there. Get that arm angle a little bit higher for Pineda.
Take it, base.
That's a 2-out walk. Campbell is aboard. first base runner for Australia, brings up the cleanup hitter, third baseman Brett Iredale. 13 years old. You talked about the age of the pitcher for Panama, Esme Pineda, 11 years old. There are only 10 11-year-olds in the whole tournament, 16 teams, and he's the third youngest player here. And I think it's safe to say he's one of the best players here.
Yeah, we've already seen it. Game one, hits a home run today on the mound. Nice free and easy arm action.
2-0, a snap throw to first. Campbell got back.
Yeah.
So after the 2 strikeouts to start this game for Pineda, now he has thrown 6 consecutive pitches out of the strike zone. 2-1.
See his action too after he let it go right there. Trying to talk himself into really finishing that pitch. All of the misses for the most part have been the exact same place. So just a little bit quick towards home plate. Arm just lags a little bit, but when it's right, it's been very good.
Same kind of miss. And that's 2 consecutive walks. So Australia's got a chance here to score right away.
So the arm action's nice, free and easy, and then that front foot comes in just a little bit closed. And so you can see when that front foot hits, how the arm's already a little bit further out in front. Just a little quick, but not bad. But the finish is very good. He'll find it because when he's been down in the zone. Good action towards home plate.
bien, vamos con la recta está ahí. Concéntrate un poquito, lo está tirando arriba. Suéltalo al frente, vamos. Vamos, vamos.
So Luis Gonzalez, I think echoing what you said, hey, it looks good. You got a nice pop on your fastball. Just get that command locked in. Leonardo Bernal, the catcher, he is very eager to help with some mechanical issues. He wants to volunteer his opinion.
Advisor. There you go.
Good pitch, strike one to Will Edwards, who's the center fielder, batting 5th for Australia. Will's 12 years old. Base hit could put Australia ahead, and he hits one on the ground toward first, scooped up by Tejada. That is out number 3. So Australia threatens, but they do not score. And when we come back, Panama hits for the first time. 0-0 game. No score after a half inning. Australia and Panama on the international side of this Little League World Series from Williamsport. Those kids from Aguadulce, Panama, which is a city right along the southwest coast, about 137 miles away from the capital, Panama City. 3rd Little League World Series appearance for this particular Little League. And why don't we meet the kids from Panama? Brought to you by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes.
Mi nombre es Leonardo Bernal y mi jugador favorito es Salvador Pérez.
Mi nombre es Eduardo Betancourt. Mi jugador favorito es Mike Trout.
Mi nombre es Anel Calderón. Mi jugador favorito es Mariano Rivera.
Me llamo Harrison Castillo y mi jugador favorito es Yacier Puy.
Mi nombre es Manuel Cruz. Mi jugador favorito es Eric Hosmer.
Mi nombre es Abel de León y mi jugador favorito es Salvador Pérez.
Mi nombre es Carlos González. Mi jugador favorito es Johnny Céspedes.
Mi nombre es Benedicto Jaén y mi jugador favorito es Salvador Pérez.
Mi nombre es Melvin Jaramillo. Mi jugador favorito es Altuve.
Mi nombre es Smith Pineda. Mi jugador favorito es Mark Teixeira.
Mi nombre es Juan Rodríguez. Mi jugador favorito es José Bautista.
Mi nombre es Tomás Sarmiento y mi jugador favorito es Troy Tulowitzki.
Mi nombre es Joaquín Tejada. Mi jugador favorito es José Bautista.
Y mi nombre es José Felipe Torres. Mi jugador favorito es Alcides Escobar.
All right, and the kid that they will face for Australia, their big right-hander Clayton Campbell.
We've already talked about him. He's thrown 5 innings in this Little League World Series, and it's all zeros except the strikeouts. Struck out 7, didn't give up any hits, didn't walk anybody. 66 pitches against Italy in Game 1, which was Thursday. So enough time off to make this start again. But he looked really good in Game 1.
And that's where the rain yesterday has, we figure, really helped Australia. His first pitch is a ball to Tomás Sarmiento. He would not have been eligible to pitch yesterday when this game was scheduled to be played. They used the extra day of rest, and he's on the mound. close, but called the ball. It's 2-0. Sarmiento, very smooth shortstop, had some good swings in Panama's opening round win. Here's the first strike for Clayton Campbell. In Australia, they've been honest with us, Kyle, about there's a drop-off in terms of the pitching quality from Clayton to their next best pitcher. The fastball 2-2.
You know, I love the fact that he's out there today, because you win your opening round game for the first time. They're in a spot they have, and Australia's never won 2 games here at the Little League World Series, and he gives them the best chance to win this one.
Go for it. Here's a breaking ball. That one was pretty close, not handled by the catcher, Rowan North. And these are the rules we're talking about. If you throw 66 or more, you got to sit out for 4 days. Now, they took him out in that 51 to 65 window. So 3 days rest for Clayton. A pop up on the infield. It's Riley Gonzalez at second for the first out. Riley's a good ball player. He made a lot of things happen for Australia in their opening round win. Got the sunglasses on, bright sun up above. He's got the gum going. He's got it all.
Gum, got the Oakleys. Life's pretty good.
One out for Leonardo Bernal, the catcher. Wow, right. Pretty small strike zone at the start of this one from Mike Cook. Right down around the knees, maybe a little bit low. Leonardo knocked in a run with a base hit against Mexico. Good fastball, 1-1.
I like Leonardo Bernal because he's consistent. Parents are here. He even talks to himself. That time swung right through us. He's talking to the pitcher earlier. That time talking to himself after the swing.
He's a walking, talking baseball instructional video. 2-1 from Campbell. I think you got a vocal kid who likes to be in the middle of everything. Catcher's a pretty good spot for him. 2-2. One key for Clayton Campbell in Australia. These top of the order hitters on base. The 2 big hitters in the middle of Panama's lineup can do a lot of damage. A breaking ball grounded to short. And the throw right there and just in time from Harrison Wheeldon, 2 down.
Good work from Harrison Wheeldon. We had him out on Wednesday doing some defensive drills before this started, but charges enough time to set that right foot, and it's bang bang at first base. But the throw does just beat Bernal. He doesn't charge that one. There's no chance you're going to get him at first. Cut down that distance to first base.
Well, 2 down. Here's Carlos Gonzalez. And he swings through that fastball from Clayton Campbell. This is a big, strong kid.
He does not get cheated.
Wait till you see the arm of Carlos Gonzalez, whether it's at third or on the mound. I got jammed there. That roller to third, and another good play. Brent Iredale makes it, and Panama goes down in order. So more good defense. We've seen a lot of that in Williamsport.
Yeah, Clayton Campbell throwing a bunch of strikes, and why wouldn't you when you have these guys behind you? A little fastball in on the hands of Carlos Gonzalez, and Brent Iredale takes it from there. A scoreless first in Williamsport.
Little League World Series is presented by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes cereal. They're great! And in part by the Odyssey. From Honda, official vehicle of Little League, and the Subway Sandwich Shop. Fresh is what we do.
Dave Fleming, Kyle Peterson on this beautiful Williamsport Monday. We're at the Little League World Series. The winner's side in the international bracket, Australia, Panama, Canada, South Korea. Those are the winners from the opening round. And later today, 6 Eastern on ESPN, Canada, South Korea will go head-to-head. Really, I think the landmark win of this entire tournament so far, Canada taking down Japan in the opener. And it sort of set the stage for the biggest story in Williamsport thus far. We always talk about the importance of winning your first game. Starting 2-0 is also extremely important. 13 of the last 14 winners have started their Little League World Series 2-0. Adrian Lautier, who's a big, strong kid himself, leading off for Australia. Let Mike Cook get tightened up here. Good to go. 0-2. Mike's got the good umpire pipes.
Authority, nice and short. Let's see what the punch out call is.
Make sure you can hardly understand what he's saying.
That's right.
Perfect. Right back towards our camera. Look out. Make sure Ray's okay. I think he is.
Oh, wow. Oh, that was pretty good. Well, there's the punch out call.
Third strikeout for SB Pineda.
So we got it dialed up for the fastball. You can see the hands really good on top of that. That's what gives it that top to bottom break. Even with that lower arm angle, the middle finger gets over the top of the breaking ball, really finishes the pitch. That was well done.
Strike one to Riley Gonzalez. The second baseman who had the sunglasses on out in the field. Not at the plate. 0-2. And it does seem like Pineda is kind of locked in those mechanics here. Fought himself a little bit in the first, not here in the second. 2 down.
For a walk in the park this inning. Just get up to that balance point. Watch that finish. Love the finish. You know, everything's going towards home plate. Throws across his body a little bit, but still, the momentum, the head, everything going in towards the glove really allows that arm to extend. Get everything he can on that fastball.
So 2 down for Rowan North, the catcher. That's that same miss. You can see him miming his mechanics on the mound.
He's just trying to do it before his catcher does it.
Yeah.
Trying to get out in front of the feedback.
Rowan, who's got a big personality on this team. Ahead of the count 2-0. Remember, he was on Baseball Tonight. If you've been watching our shows live here from Williamsport. And I think it was Adnan who asked him about whether he'd had a chance to have the kettle corn and some of the other treats. And Rowan said, well, what is kettle corn?
He's got a few new favorite foods now, I think.
So we took him on a little culinary tour. We might share part of that with you as our telecast goes on. Hits that one hard to left, and that is a base hit. That's the first hit of the game for either side. Fueled by kettle corn.
Hey, kid.
It always works.
Yeah.
2 outs, nobody on, and already seen a few pitches. Look at the head and the barrel. Head stays right on it. Barrel goes straight to the baseball and drives that out to left field. First hit of the game on either side, and it comes off the bat of Rowan North.
So he's got his first hit in Williamsport and a 2-out base runner. Mitchell Tritton takes a strike. He's the left fielder for Australia. 100 pounds right on the dot. Didn't miss by much. 2-1. Kelly, Mitchell's mom, is here, as are many of the parents, friends, family members who made the long trip, longest trip of any team to Williamsport.
The Australia parents are well represented here.
2-2 after the foul ball.
And they've had some time. It was 2 months. This team was selected back in January. And then they go through the state and national tournament, but then it was 2 full months and a little bit more before they played another game.
2-2.
Almost a 10,000-mile trip from Sydney to Williamsport. Full count. 3-2. It's hard to pick 2 spots on planet Earth that are farther apart.
3-2.
Sydney and Williamsport. You know, you can go both ways, right?
Yeah.
Here you go.
Doing the math in my head. I'll go with you on that.
Full count 3-2. Some
3-2.
good at bats here by the bottom of the order for Australia with 2 down.
Ball.
That one is ball 4. 2 on, 2 out. A very long trip from Sydney, which is one of the world's great cities. So are Seoul, so is Tokyo. And those were long trips as well. The kids from Italy had a long way to go. And it's obvious that the international teams have to make that longer trip. Often they'll leave a few days earlier just to get adjusted to the time difference. Gives you an idea of every team represented here in 2016. Happy to travel 10,000 miles.
Yep.
Stephen Courtney's going to pinch hit here and have a chance against Pineda with 2 on and 2 out. On the inside. Second inning in a row with a 2-out rally. We'll see if Australia can cash it in. Hasn't quite yet had a great feel. We saw the one real good breaking ball that locked up Adrien Lautier.
Ball.
Got a great demeanor on the mound.
Yeah.
Very calm.
There you go.
2-2.
You could see him kind of raise his arm before that pitch too. Just reminded himself to get on top of that pitch. Just works backwards. The higher that arm angle gets when you're coming towards home plate, usually the lower the pitch is. Good one there.
Strike 3 called. Very good one. That's his 5th strikeout. Middle of the 2nd. Australia and Panama, no score.
Hay que hacer la carrera.
They've got their ace on the mound. 170 pounds, 5'9", 12 years old. Nickname's the big guy.
Got him. He struck him out swinging with a fastball. He has been smooth and efficient.
7 strikeouts in 5 innings for Clayton Campbell.
So big Clayton Campbell, who had a very impressive first inning on the mound. Australia, this would be their first Little League World Series appearance with 2 wins if they can get another victory. Their championship hopes are very much alive. It's a country that is still learning the game at the Little League level. First pitch swing and a ground ball on 1 hop by Pineda. Backhanded it short. Wheeldon throws him out, so 1 pitch, 1 out for Campbell.
You know, Tim Kirchin was talking in the previous game just about how impressed he is with the infield play here, and I totally agree. The actions of these kids at this age and the ability to know right off the bat that if you're Harrison Wheeldon, you give just a little bit of ground. You know you've got time. It gives him a little bit of extra time to read that hop and plenty of time to make that throw across the diamond. It's just repetition. You can tell that they have taken a ton of ground balls and been on the field plenty.
And the thing about the field size here at the Little League level, where you get the 60 feet base pass, you have no time to make a mistake. That ball's hit well to center field, and it's gone up over the trees. Joaquin Tejada with a solo home run. Somebody got a souvenir. It's 1-0 Panama.
Well, you know Clayton Campbell's going to throw a bunch of strikes, and we've seen this inning. First 2 pitches of the inning, Panama was swinging at. The first was a hard ground ball, and this one's not coming back. Driven out to center field, and the wind's blowing in. So that one has to cut through the wind. Panama is on the board. Joaquin Tejada has his first home run of this Little League World Series.
Yeah, he hits that one on Saturday, say. It was a little warmer. The wind was almost non-existent. That one was going to go a long way. There's Edouard Bethencourt, who takes ball 1. Tejada, he was the starting pitcher for Panama in their opening round win. He can swing the bat. 1-1. Show of a bunt and bunted right back to Campbell. who throws out Betancourt 2 down. So 2 outs. Panama is on the board first here in the second inning. This is not an elimination game. Both of these teams won in their opening round games.
Number 4, right fielder, Jose Torres.
Jose Torres, right-handed hitter, comes up. Taking ball 1. Jose, another one of the 11-year-olds here. Ball. 2-0. Off the end of the bat, out to short, caught, out number 3. But Panama is on the board, and Joaquin Tejada with a very impressive swing of the bat.
First pitch swinging, drives it out to center field, and the first home run for Joaquin Tejada in this Little League World Series gives Panama a 1-0 lead.
Back here in Williamsport, Australia and Panama, and time for our Fresh Take. But before we get to that, let's get to it. Fresh Take brought to you by Subway. All of our Sunday games suspended due to rain, and so that means the winners are playing here today on Monday, head-to-head against each other. And I think, Kyle, maybe the biggest story of the Little League World Series so far, Japan 0-2 for the first time in Williamsport since 1962.
Yeah, it's we're just not used to seeing that. Obviously, they lose game 1, then lose a heartbreaker to Curacao 2-1 in game 2. But they've still got one more consolation game for Japan tomorrow. Everybody guaranteed 3 games here.
And look, it's a different team. It's a different group of kids, a different year, different level of competition. So we always carry over that tradition. It's just that the teams from Japan have had so much success here.
You know, and I think part of it, though, is it speaks even more to how baseball in other areas of the world really continues to grow.
Yep.
Because we see it with Australia right here. We saw it clearly with Canada in game 1.
0-2 from Pineda to Harrison Wheeldon. He strikes out swinging. Good fastball from Pineda.
Pretty good right there. Fastball to get things going, to break them ball, get strike 2, and then just bury that fastball down and away. Get the plus count no matter where you're at. If you can throw that pitch, fastball down and away, things are usually going to work out well. Smith Pineda looks really good so far.
Here's Clayton Campbell. He swings at the first pitch, hits a rocket on a couple of hops to left field. Anel Calderon, he was playing deep.
Yep.
He was basically standing on the warning track.
You know, because these games are on TV, you end up getting some scouting reports. And Clayton Campbell, a kid we've already seen on the mound, seen him at the plate once, but this is a great swing. Watch how short he is. See this a lot at the big league level. That back foot even coming off the ground right when he makes contact. But cleared those hips, drove it to left field. Giant smile on his face. Second hit of the game for Australia. That was a great swing.
Now a show of a bunt. And he did not go, apparently. That's ball 1. Brent Iredale, who walked his first time up. Scooby-Doo.
Hope there's kids in 100 years still saying that.
Yeah, that was Scooby-Doo was around when you and I were his age.
Scooby has some staying power.
Brent, who bats cleanup for Australia. Big crowd at Volunteer on this beautiful Monday. Pineda wanted to make a little adjustment to his defense. Hey, he's in charge. He's the guy on the mound. Good breaking ball. 1-2. That one had Brent a little bit locked up. So ball and 2 strikes. We will keep an eye on that pitch count. That is now 50 pitches thrown by SB Pineda. Little check swing out towards second and caught. That was turned into a pretty good play by Melvin Jaramillo. off the bat, he started back. He had to come in, and he knows. Yeah, just the way I planned it.
Got it all under control out here. Don't you worry. First step back, and you can see when this ball goes up. Looks like it's maybe going to go a little bit further, but Elvin Jaramillo lays out, makes that play. Flashes its smile right after.
2 down. Strike one with the fastball at 71 miles an hour. Will Edwards. Ocho, not just because he wears the number 8.
Yeah, Will's not afraid of the microphone. Out there during the game, Will's calling his own game.
Yeah, sometimes at ESPN we do have many networks, lots of programming. Sometimes we get teased a little bit with the sort of the cliche ESPN Ocho. And his teammates kind of ran with that because Will, he likes to do the running commentary. He'd like our job someday. He'll call the play-by-play out on the field. I'm sure he'd like to call his own home run.
He hits one here. I think we're going to give him the chance.
Okay. We can make that happen.
That's 2-2. Play.
Pops it up. The catcher Bernal tossed the mask aside, got under it, and made the play. So a hit, but no runs. Middle of the third. Panama has a 1-0 lead. Well, a little strategy here for Team Australia. Down 1-0. They are taking Clayton Campbell out of this game. Eligible to pitch tomorrow. 21 pitches for Clayton and done. And a little more on that. Let's welcome in Marisol Castro. Marisol.
All right, thanks so much, Dave. You know, before the game even started, I went downstairs to talk to Australia's coach, and he said they need to put themselves in the best position ever to not just win today, but to take this thing the whole 9 yards. And so they wanted to start with Campbell. They said, we're going to put him in for 20. We want him to paint the corners, but after 20 pitches, we want to take him out, and we're going to bring in Will Edwards. Also a really strong, great pitcher. We'll change things up a little bit throughout the course of the game, and he's on the mound right now, so let's see what he's got.
All right, good info. And yeah, you like the start.
Sure. I mean, I like the fact that they started Clayton. And then you got to think about the rest of the time. And Will Edwards warming up. Like this arm action, too. The Ocho, a little breaking ball right there to get ahead 0-2. So we got the high pants. We got the eye black. The Ocho's calling the game in his mind right now, knowing he's in an 0-2 advantage right here. Yeah, I mean, we can't let those things fall down at all.
All right, we're going to closely watch that pant level from Will on the ground towards second. And a good job by Gonzalez to get in front of the ball and throw him out.
No reason to backhand that ball if you don't have to. Backhand's a tougher play at any level, but especially for these kids. So watch that right foot. Get all the way around it so we can feel that ball in front. But then the right foot's already set to make the throw. It's a short throw. Don't have to get a ton on it. But a good job by Riley Gonzalez, who has played some very good defense in the 2 games that we've seen. Get in front of that ball, get the first out of the inning.
Pinch hitter here again for Panama, Benedicto Jaén, wearing number 8. So it's 8 against 8. Ball 1 in the third. Panama ahead 1-0. Right-handed hitter. Well, you and I were here 4 years ago, Australia first sent a team to Williamsport, and those were, I mean, they had some good players. They're kind of the groundbreaking team from that great sports country. Even in that short of a time, the level of Little League Baseball there has obviously come up. And I think it's got to be exciting if you care about this game and this sport. Australia 0-3, that first team from Perth. Won a game the next year, won a game last year. This is the first time they've won their opener here in 2016. If you care about this sport, you got to be excited about the possibility that a lot of kids in Australia are going to start playing more and more baseball.
Yeah, the more around the world that are exposed to it, then ultimately it only over time makes the Major League product that much better. That's a good thing. And for these kids, talking to their coaching staff last night, they were just raving about the experience. Good one there.
2 down.
About the Ocho. Dropping the breaking ball in there.
So 2 down. All the excitement of the Little League World Series, including scores, stats, highlights, and more, can be found at LLBWS.org. You can also follow along on social media with the hashtag LLWS. Great staff in Williamsport helping put this event on, and all the fans who come out and make it what it is. He's mixing and matching now on the mound. Looks like a pretty confident kid.
Add, subtract. First time he's thrown that breaking ball for the first pitch in a minute, Pat, but had Tomas Sarmiento all the way out in front.
Tomas can hit. That one was close. A little bit inside. Pretty good.
I love it. Throwing a ton of strikes. 2 pitches for a strike. Peering right over the top of that glove.
Here's his 1-2. Wow. Wow. And his catcher,
what a good pitch.
Rowan North, tried to hold it, tried to frame it. He thought he had it.
Oh, what's the reaction on the mound? I love it. Get out of there. Get out. Oh, hold on. Threw it exactly where he wanted to, maybe just missed.
Might try it again. On the ground to third. Tough hop, played very cleanly by Clayton Campbell, and that's it. Well, Rowan North due up. When we come back, we're going to take the culinary tour through Williamsport with Rowan.
Well, I was talking about a food that I never heard of, kettle corn.
Have you tried any of the kettle corn or fried dough yet, or does the coach have you on a strict diet?
Confused me a bit because he was asking if I've ever tried it. And instead of saying, no, I haven't tried it, I asked what it was. What's kettle corn and fried
Oh, but you're going to find out.
Crackling country kettle corn. Try it and see what you think. A little bit of sweetness, a little bit of salt.
It's really good. It's like sweet popcorn.
Yeah, that's exactly the description.
But a bit crunchier. Which is good. Fried dough. Can I please get a fried Oreo?
Fried Oreo.
That's really good. What's all this dust?
That's the powdered sugar.
Oh, okay. Yeah, these are great.
Yeah. We could have a change for Rowan on that favorite food, Mark.
That was written before he experienced the kettle corn and the fried Oreos.
Well, we love Rowan being willing to go around the concession. There was a little apprehension, maybe, those first bites. And then I think we sold it. Bring kettle corn back to Australia. Good first pitch swing by the pinch hitter. Number 3, Thomas Jackson, his first at bat of the game against a very smooth looking starter for Panama. Panama leads 1-0. We're in the 4th in the winners bracket on the international side. Another good cut, but it's 0-2. The winner of this game will next play on Wednesday against the winner of Canada-South Korea. That game's still to come. Got him. So what's at stake in this game and really all day long from Williamsport? We got a full slate of Little League World Series baseball for you. The winner advances to play the winner of Canada, South Korea Wednesday. The losing team will play Curacao in what will be an elimination game. That is Tuesday, tomorrow, 5 Eastern, and that will be a spirited game. Curacao is the team that knocked off Japan. One of the big victories, and I think one of the best played games so far in this Little League World Series. Such a fun game to watch. Here's Riley Gonzalez taking ball 1. 7 strikeouts now for SB Pineda. We call Riley Z on this team. 1-1. Well, and Australia kind of hedging a little bit with Clayton Campbell starting, but he's out of this game so that if Australia does have to play tomorrow, he would be good to go, eligible to pitch in that one.
Yeah, we've already seen him. And Will Edwards looked great in his 1 inning. So maybe a little velocity drop off, but came in through a bunch of strikes, 2 pitches for a strike, but it's going to be tough to get too many off of Pineda today because he has looked outstanding. Fastball still into the 70s, and when he gets ahead, a little curveball that he's thrown has been very, very effective.
Now let's see if he goes with that one here. 2-2. He does. Strike 3 called.
So hard for a hitter at this age because you haven't seen this pitch. So watch the action of the breaking ball to start, and that's why you see the hitter kind of stand up. It looks like it's going up. So right here you're reading fastball up and out of the zone. You can see the hands start, but then it's the ability to get over the top. Watch the middle finger and the hand finish this pitch. Get over the top. It gives that top to bottom spin, brings it right back into the zone. That's the way you do it right there.
So 2 down, and instead of our Kettle Court fan Rowan North, it's going to be Matthew Clements. Matthew takes a ball. Matthew, who's got really one of the more creative, interesting nicknames of all the teams in Williamsport.
This is my clubhouse leader right now. What's your name? Matthew. What do they call you? Bob. Yep. Of course they do.
Here's the 1-0. Bob gets out of the way. 2-0. 2 pitches in a row out of the strike zone. That's enough for Leonardo to want to have a chat. He is.
Forget the last 2 strikeouts in a row. We got to discuss some things here.
He is an assertive young man.
2-0.
That was a quick meeting back down in the crouch. Good one. It worked.
That's right.
And he is still throwing very hard. It's 2-2. Perfectly located.
2-2.
2 hits so far for Australia, but no runs. And a dominant inning for S.B. Pineda. The ball got away from Bernal, but he throws to first to complete the putout. And yeah, that was dominant from the 11-year-old.
9 strikeouts so far for S.B. Pineda, and the 11-year-old struck out the side here in the 4th. 2 breaking balls for the first 2, then elevates the fastball. He has looked outstanding. Still 1-0 Panama.
Game summary from Williamsport. It's the Little League World Series in Panama with a 1-0 lead. S.B. Pineda with the pitching. Joaquin Tejada, the home run for the only run of the game.
Look how clean those lines look too. Just 3 hits allowed on both sides. The 1 hit for Panama that left the yard, and that's the difference so far. Clean baseball, no errors all the way around, and everybody on the mound has looked solid.
Yeah, Australia has 1 more hit than Panama. They have left 5 runners on base. Panama has not left a single base runner, and yet Panama is the team with a 1-0 lead. We're on the winner's side, the international bracket in Williamsport, a wide open Little League World Series. I think that's obvious. And both these teams are contenders. Bernal, the catcher, gets hit. So Will Edwards tried a breaking ball and missed with it inside. There's a base runner for Panama. And it comes at a good time for them. Leonardo, I think he's all right. Because now you get the big boys. Carlos Gonzalez, S.B. Pineda, both coming up. Thumbs up. Yeah, he's okay. And good sportsmanship. Will. Good one there to Carlos Gonzalez. Has not yet hit a home run in Williamsport. I'm guessing that before his tournament is over, that will change, just based on the way he takes a swing. Held up. Another curve there. It's 1 ball, 1 strike to count. And I guarantee you Will's thinking, I got to be careful against this guy. You're going to miss. Miss off the plate.
2-1.
Called a strike, so may have been a check swing, but it didn't matter. That was in there, 2-2.
This is kind of the danger zone of this lineup. You were talking about Gonzalez. There is some power in this swing.
Full count, 3-2. Well, look, if you walk him, 2 on, nobody out, another good hitter coming up, but maybe not the end of the world
3-2.
if the alternative is just throwing one right down the middle. He rips that one to left and right over the head of Tritton, the left fielder. Plays the carom off the wall and relays it back in. It stays in the ballpark, but it is a double for Carlos Gonzalez. Panama is set up to add on.
Yeah, I love this kid's approach at the plate too. I mean, watch how he gets a little bit spread out. The front foot doesn't go very far. That back foot just off the ground and pulls those hands in to get the barrel of the baseball. Then the extension happens after that. One hopper to the wall out in left field. Carlos Gonzalez, technically one of the better hitters that we've seen at this Little League World Series. 3 for 6 with 3 RBIs and a double right there.
Here we go.
And a kid who may also have the strongest throwing arm of anybody in the tournament. We've seen him at third. We've seen him on the mound. He's got a lot of skills. Second and third, nobody out. Great chance for Pineda, the cleanup hitter. Grounded out to short his first time up. Ball 1. He did not, says Ricky Castle, first base umpire. On the ground to short again. Runner from third breaks home. The throw to first is in time. Wheeldon also held Gonzalez at second, so that was pretty well done all the way around. Panama adds a run.
Yeah, it was a good job early too over at third base, checking that defense to see where everybody is. You see the shortstop Harrison Wheeldon all the way back. If the ball's hit on the ground, gets past the pitcher with that infield playing back, you know you got a chance to score that run. Leonardo Bernal, who reached after he was hit to start this inning. That's why you check those infielders before the pitch. Playing in, decision's different. Playing back right there, the ground ball's going to score him every time.
That was just well done all the way around. Foul ball on the swing from Joaquin Tejada, who last time up did this.
How about this act? At that time, Clayton Campbell in the game was just pumping strikes in there. So looking for a first pitch fastball. Use the middle of the field at any level. Good things you use are going to happen, especially when you hit it that far.
I tell you what, you and I sit just above the hitter, and we can feel there is a lot of wind up there, and it's not helping the hitter. So that's a pretty impressive swing and home run, considering he's fighting against the wind today. That flag is blowing in and across, sort of from left to right. 0-2. 2-0 Panama. Good take by Tejada. Got him. 2 down. With a runner at second. Our aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Who knows? Maybe with that wind, the blimp could be rocking and rolling a little bit today.
A little different ride for the boys up there today.
Might be. You got another game coming up at Lamedy, and that hill is starting to fill up on this Monday. Harrison Castillo is the hitter. Tennessee and New York. They will be next at Lamedy. I know our colleague John Kruk saw the U.S. opening round games. He thought New York was the best all-around team, the most impressive team in their first game. That should be a good matchup. On the ground to third, Campbell throws to first, out number 3. Panama gets 1, but only the 1. We're through 4 on the international side. 2-0. Panama leads.
Good job, mate. Awesome. Hey, real solid, yeah? Real solid.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Go Australia! Let's go! Oh yeah!
A lot of spirit on the Australian side as we are back here in Williamsport, and the bracket here in the 2016 Little League World Series. On the international side, Australia, Panama. The winner moves on to Wednesday, 5 Eastern on ESPN2 to play the winner of our game later on this afternoon, this evening. Canada, South Korea, will have that one for you at 6 Eastern on ESPN. Every game available on the Watch ESPN app. 5th inning here. Australia running out of outs. They trail 2-0. Will Unit, first pitch swing and a ground ball to third. Now let's watch the throwing arm of Carlos Gonzalez. He kind of eased one over there for out number 1.
This kid can play. We saw him on the mound in game 1. The fastball got up to 80 miles an hour. Just going glove side. You get all the time in the world when you have this on. I mean, that one's just flipped over, and that's still on a line over to first base. Could see him try to close this one, but Pineda's done a much better job of limiting that pitch count in the last few innings.
Yeah, we saw Carlos Gonzalez on the mound in their opening round win against Mexico, and that's basically what he did. Closed out the game. He was throwing 80 miles an hour, and he made it look easy. And because if you win, you move on. You don't have to play tomorrow. You play Wednesday. You could use him
up to 35 pitches.
Yeah, and still have him available. Ethan Treble, who is the leadoff hitter, see if he can set the table. Australia, if they get a base runner on, well, then they get the tying run to the plate. Foul tip. It's 2-2.
Here we go. Here we go.
You got the contrast there with the favorite foods. He couldn't limit it to just one. Yeah, it's a version of surf and turf.
Why not?
Ribs and octopus.
Yeah, all those different restaurants that offer the opportunity to order both.
That sounds a lot better to me than Vegemite. Curveball got him. 2 down. All right, for Australia, 10th strikeout for Pineda, by the way. If they lose this game, they face Curacao tomorrow in what would be an elimination game. Clayton Campbell would be eligible to pitch. They used him today, taking the benefit of the rainouts yesterday, but only threw 21 pitches, so he would be eligible to go tomorrow. That's if they can't come from behind. Harrison Wheeldon, 1-1 to the Australian shortstop. He left off the octopus. He held up. Did he? Let's check. Oh, he did not. Ricky Castle says that was a swing.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
And still 1-2.
Hard up to question, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's a coin flip call. I never envy the umpires when they got to make that call.
Thank you. I agree.
That's the toughest call to make.
1-2, play.
Pineda got him swinging. Another strikeout for the 11-year-old. He's got 11 of them, and he is pitching brilliantly. 2-0 Panama. Welcome back to the Little League World Series, presented by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes from beautiful Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Really still just getting this day started. We got a full day of Little League World Series action lined up for you at 3 Eastern right here on ESPN. It's Tennessee and New York on the U.S. side. Kyle and I have Canada, South Korea at 6 Eastern back in the international bracket. And then the nightcap, Kentucky. They were very impressive. Iowa, the team that knocked off California. That's at 8 Eastern.
Kentucky with 3 kids back from last year, and kid from just outside of Des Moines, Iowa. In California in the opener, back at it tonight.
Abel Leon against Will Edwards, still on the mound for Australia. Strike 1 swinging. So from a win, which really sets them up beautifully if they can finish this one off. Call him Abuelito. Well, he's not the biggest kid. You can see why. He's got that locked-in look at the plate. There's that off-speed pitch from Will Edwards. He has used that to great effect. That one brought a smile.
Yeah, he liked it.
1-2.
I think the smile's still there. Set that target up. A fly ball, shallow right center, kind of into no man's land, and Gonzalez can't quite get it. Tried to make the back to the infield over the shoulder catch. It'll be a hit for Leon.
Ryder Gonzalez, we've seen him at second base make some really good plays in this one. See him turn his back, and this is the toughest play for the infielder, where you kind of lose sight of that baseball just for a minute. Autier, the right fielder, playing so deep that he can't get to that one. They just hit it in the right spot. Leadoff single for Abel De Leon.
Here's Anel Calderon. He takes a strike from Edwards. You get a lot of Ronaldo, Messi fans. The team from Panama. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. The mandatory minimum play rules. Every kid on these teams gets to hit at least once in these games. 1-2. Struck him out swinging. Well, just to explain that rule, I think it's a great part of Little League Baseball, this Little League World Series. It is based on the number of players a team has at the beginning of the game. If you have 13 or 14, everybody has to hit once. If you have 12 or fewer, every player must play 6 consecutive defensive outs and also bat once.
I think it's great that everybody gets into the game. The one thing I would, with the teams that have 13 and 14, it would be great if a kid has to play 3 of those, so just 1 inning defensively. But the way that it's set up right now, it encourages teams to carry 13 or 14, which is good. And you get more kids to get an experience like this.
Panama feeling pretty confident right now. They lead 2-0 in the bottom of the 5th. Oh, 2. I'll give Will Edwards credit. They took a chance when they took Clayton Campbell out. He's had a lot of smiles. He is pitching very well against a good hitting team. Little dribbler foul. Remember, this is a team that against Mexico, and Mexico swung the bats well and pitched well in their second game. Panama put 10 runs on the board against Mexico. They have 2 runs on 3 hits so far. Fouled back kind of in our direction, but off the net. You can't play the ricochet. Rowan North made an attempt at it. He actually caught it off the bounce, I think. That does not count.
No, but that's the one you don't get to do that at home. No. You get a chance to do that even if it doesn't count.
Another 0-2. Yep. Nice curve. I'm calling it the curveball.
With you on that one. Will Edwards, since coming in, has done such a really good job. And I think it's tough just controlling emotions in a setting like this. That time gets right over the top of that curveball, and Jaramillo just couldn't pull the trigger. You think it's a fastball up and out of the zone, it just drops right down in there. 2 straight strikeouts for Will Edwards here in the 5th inning.
Here we go.
Yeah, remember, he did not pitch in their opening round win, so this is his first experience on the mound. Such a different setting. We talked to those Australian coaches, and they emphasize, look, we're growing the game in our country. We love the game. We have nothing like this.
Yeah.
With all these fans, the big ballpark. So it's his first chance to be on a mound in anything close to this, and he's done well. Tomas Sarmiento 0 for 2 so far. He's kept the pant legs up.
Yeah, the important stuff.
Look good, play good.
Makes a difference.
1-1. He has certainly kept his team in the game. They still have a shot. They've got their 3, 4, 5 spots due up. On the ground to Clayton Campbell. Tough hop. He played it beautifully and got the force at second, and he's going to lead off when we come back for the 6th. It'll be the last chance for Australia. Panama leads 2-0.
Sticks right now.
Little League World Series is presented by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes cereal. They're great!
Smiles all around at Williamsport in the 2016 Little League World Series on the Australian side, on the Panamanian side. We have had such a well-played game, and these kids are loving being out on this field at Volunteer. Last chance for Australia. Welcome back to the Little League World Series presented by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. It's about the winning and the losing, going for a championship. It's also, Kyle, about what we just saw.
Yep, about the experiences, talking to these coaches from Australia. That's all they could talk about. It's just how great the experience has been. This team's been together for about 8 months, capped off by 2 weeks in a place that every 12-year-old wants to play.
So here we go. Last shot for Australia. Down 2-0. They've got their big hitter up to lead off, Clayton Campbell. Maybe ideally would have had Clayton batting in a spot where he could have hit with somebody on base to try to tie the game with one swing. I think it's safe to say, Kyle, a pretty good save by Leonardo Bernal, even with nobody on base. Good effort there. The outfield is playing deep with Clayton
fair
at the plate. I think that's fair to say. Especially in the corners. It's 2-1. Yeah, in left field.
Step off the track in left field.
Hard to get a lot deeper than that. Jose Torres in right field. Bat all the way back. Hit hard and off the glove of the second baseman Jaramillo into center field, and that should be a hit for Clayton Campbell.
A nice day for Mr. Campbell here. 2 strong innings on the mound, gives up just 1 hit. And walks his first at bat. The next 2 times he has hit it right in the middle of the barrel. Single to left, now a single up the middle. So Australia, the leadoff man on here in the 6th. This will be the last hitter that Pineda will face. Pitch number 85 right there.
Bernal tried to pick off Clayton Campbell, couldn't quite do it. Yeah, so this will be it for Pineda. In a 2-0 game, you got the cleanup hitter Iredale up. Australia trying to put some pressure on Panama. Strike 1 swinging. Brent has walked and hit a little line drive to second. 2-1. Well, a walk would put the tying run on base. So that would be a good play for Australia here. See if Brent gets a pitch to handle, though. Right on the corner. Another throw. Leonardo, he likes to show off that arm.
One time from the knees. Clayton Campbell's about 1.5 feet off the base, too. Always going down there.
Hit deep to right field. And it's tied. Wow, what a swing. Brent Iredale ties the game with a 2-run homer. Down to their final 3 outs.
How about this swing? Swung through a fastball up and out of the zone earlier in this at bat and had a big smile on his face. It's like he knew he was going to do this later on. Got another fastball, this time in the zone. And that's a game changer right there for Team Australia. The home run to right off the bat of Brent Iredale ties it at 2 here in the 6th.
Dad is pumped.
Allá, Felipe.
And SB Pineda, I think he's shocked. He threw so well today. And a base hit to start the 6th, and then that swing. So a pitching change, and the big kid, maybe the hardest thrower in Williamsport, is going to take over. We got Rally Cups in the dugout. 2-2 game.
A 2-run home run from Brent Iredale, and Australia has tied it at 2 here in the top of the 6th with nobody out. And offensively, there was some challenges today for Australia because of how good SB Pineda had been. He's 11 years old, and he matched his age in strikeouts today. 11 strikeouts, fastball into the mid-70s. A little palm ball that he was throwing over that froze the hitters from Australia the entire day. Cruised through the first 5 innings. But then a leadoff single from Clayton Campbell, and then this fly ball to right field off the bat of Brent Iredale, and I think that shocked everybody in the stadium and tied it at 2.
And still nobody out as Carlos Gonzalez comes in. 5+ innings, only 4 hits, but the 2 runs with the 11 strikeouts, third most of any pitcher in a game in this Little League World Series. And man, now Australia, okay, you've tied it up. Congratulations, you get to face this guy.
Now you get this one. 5 foot 9 inches, 160 pounds. We've already seen him at third base and at the plate. It's a fastball that'll get sometimes up to 80 miles an hour. That one's 78. You see the major league equivalent. He's already been in there an inning and 2/3 in the opener for Panama. Struck out 4, did not give up a hit.
Somebody put the ball in play against him. And somebody will not be Will Edwards. He took strike 3, the equivalent of a 101 mile an hour big league fastball. So 1 out. Panama trying to keep it tied where they would have a chance, where a run could end it in the bottom of the 6th. But Australia full of life in their dugout and very much alive. After the 2-run home run here in the 6th, down to their final 3 outs. On the corner, he throws hard and he throws with command.
Yeah. Simple mechanics too. There's not a bunch of stuff moving. Just lift that left leg and everything on towards home plate.
He does sort of remind you of the Canadian right-hander Loreto Siniscalchi, who dominated in his first start against Japan, where he's coming right after you and he's throwing strikes, and he's got 2 strikeouts. So 2 down. The winner advances to play the winner of Canada South Korea. That will be tonight. That South Korea-Canada game, that matchup Wednesday 5 Eastern on ESPN2. The losing team plays Curacao in an elimination game tomorrow, also at 5 Eastern. Well, he can throw a ball. Riley Gonzalez.
Thank you.
0 for 2 so far in this one. Right-handed hitter. It looks to me like he's choking up just a little bit.
That'd be a good idea.
Try to shorten the swing. See if he can get the bat to the ball. Let Carlos Gonzalez generate the power. 1-2. Got him swinging. So power from Carlos Gonzalez on the mound, but how about the power from Team Australia that has the game tied?
Yeah, it keeps this one going. Australia down 2-0 coming into this inning, but Brent Iredale sends it to the bottom of the 6th. A 2-run home run to right. Got smiles all around, and Dad's fired up in the stands. Panama coming up with the middle of the lineup due-up, but we are tied at 2.
All right, welcome back here to Williamsport, Pennsylvania. It's the 2016 Little League World Series. Coming up next, up in Lomity on the U.S. side, 2 undefeated teams, Tennessee and New York, and that should be a very good one. That's when we're finished. Next here on ESPN. Little League University provides web-based training for coaches, umpires, league volunteers, and parents. You can watch videos, review practice plans, or just see some ideas for playing catch in the old backyard. Visit and join for free at littleleagueuniversity.org today. So here we go. Australia scores 2 in the top of the 6th to keep the game going. They've tied it up 2-2. The 2-3-4 hitters up for Panama. A run will end it. Leonardo Bernal against Will Edwards. 0-2. Just like that. Leonardo takes his bat and slams it down off home plate to get ready to hit. He's been hit by a pitch and scored a run. Reached out and blooped one to right. It will get down. Base hit. So there's your winning run aboard. Nice hitting from the catcher, Leonardo Bernal.
Yeah, it was. He had seen 2 breaking balls in this at bat already, and you could see the action of Rowan North, the catcher, with that glove, saying throw it down in the dirt. He was in a really good spot, but just spoiled right there by Leonardo Bernal. Having to play deep in the outfield, no chance anybody can get to it. Panama has their leadoff man on here in the 6th with the meat of the order coming up.
Carlos Gonzalez. Down and away, ball 1. Now, I'm not advocating pitching around a kid at the Little League level, but how aggressive are you coming after this guy?
Yeah, you want to be careful. I mean, the problem is it doesn't get any easier. Pineda after him's already hit a home run, and Joaquin Tejada has hit one today.
They had him way out in front, 1-1.
See if Panama can adjust to that breaking ball, because I think Will Edwards is just going to keep on throwing.
Very different pitcher than the starter, Clayton Campbell, for Australia. But he's done a nice job. He's had 4 strikeouts since coming in the game. This will be pitch number 50. Tie game, bottom of the 6th. The run wins it. 2-1. I think especially with that fastball, you got to be real careful where you spot that thing against Gonzalez. Carlos doubled the deep left field his last time up. That was against this pitcher. Just a little high. 3-1. You can hear the groans. Australian fans, they wanted that call.
I think the right call. Looked like it just missed up. But now 3-1. Be careful here.
Foul tip, 3-2.
3-1 breaking ball. You don't expect to see that when you're 12 years old.
Do they go back to that one?
I would, yeah. That's the one he seems most comfortable throwing right now, too.
Big pitch here to a big hitter. 3-2 on the ground, and Edwards couldn't quite field it cleanly, and that will allow Gonzalez to reach base safely. He couldn't find it. And hopefully Will is okay. Got him maybe on that right leg.
Way to get you.
It's an infield hit.
Want to see you guys be goofing off.
He made a good pitch, too. The 3-1 break a ball over for a strike.
He did make a really good pitch. He had Carlos Gonzalez way off balance.
You can see that ball come right back in the zone. It was capped a little bit, but he's so strong that the ball just gets back to you 46 feet away in a hurry. I think it caught him just below that right knee.
Yeah, off balance may be exaggerating a little bit, but he hit it right off the end of the bat.
Oh boy. I like it.
Throw a practice pitch, make sure he's okay.
You're staying back. Hey, get ready for it.
Look pretty good.
How's that feel, Landon?
You know what you're doing? Know what you're doing?
All right. Good job, bud.
If your shapes go hard. Okay, feel good? Feel good? Hey, how about this situation, huh?
Yeah.
Have some fun with it, kid. Let's go. Come on.
Beautiful.
Good way to approach it.
Yep, lighten the moment a little bit. He's throwing strikes. I mean, it was a kind of a flare to right for the first hit of the inning, and then a ground ball up the middle after that.
You are right. Easily, this could be 2 outs, nobody on. Instead, 2 on, no outs. And
a little yard work.
Make sure we get that cleaned up. That's a little loose.
Good.
But we have had a very well played game and a dramatic 6th inning, that's for sure. Australia and Panama on the winner's side in the international bracket. Esme Pineda, the starter, was dominant until his final inning. Tejada, the solo home run for Panama, but the 2-run homer to tie it in the top of the 6th. Now Panama a chance to win it here in the bottom half with a run. And one of their best hitters at the plate, Esme Pineda. Swings away and drives one to right. It will be caught. And in that baseball, a couple little bloops.
Yep.
Both for hits. Pineda squares one up. Sorry, you're out.
Hardest hit ball of the inning. Hit right on the button out to right field. Another good job just making sure the barrel gets to it. Fastball down and away, attacking that first pitch fastball, and Adrian Lautier out in right field in a good spot. 1 to make the play, 2 to make sure base runners can't move up. 1 pitch, 1 out right there, and a big one for Will Edwards.
So there's one kid. Take a deep breath. Now against the guy who hit a home run, against the starter Clayton Campbell, Joaquin Tejada. He struck out though against Will Edwards. 2 on, 1 out, and again to right field. Well hit. Lautier watches it go over his head. And now the runner coming to third, Bernal. He gets the stop sign as the throw comes back in. The bases will be loaded. Now Panama was a little conservative there. Lautier, I think he got a little bit mixed up whether to try to play a carom, try to catch it. But for now, this game goes on.
Yeah, I can see that wind. It's really blowing in from left to right field, and I think that's what got it. The ball's hit pretty well. And off the bat, Lautier goes back, but right about now is where the wind gets it. You kind of take it to the other side. But a good job in presence of mind. The minute he doesn't make the play, to not give up on it. Bare hand, get that ball back in, kept the base runner at third base, and Australia here still with a chance. Bases loaded, but no run scored.
And Bernal, the lead runner there, I mean, he has to make sure the ball's not going to be caught.
Yeah.
So he's got to be cautious, at least until he sees it go over the right fielder's head.
Well, and it looked like he was tagging, too. Tagging there, so if the play was made, he could end up at third base.
So here we go. Australia has to bring the infield in. You get the force out at home plate. Edouard Bethencourt trying to win it for Panama. Bases loaded in the bottom of the 6th, tie game, and a foul ball for strike 1. Edouard, he can be the hero for Panama. After they watched Australia tie it with a 2-run homer in the top of the 6th inning. Will Edwards on the mound. And his 0-1 pitch is hit hard and foul. 0-2.
3 feet away from a game winner down the right field line. Instead now in an 0-2 hole. Just foul. We get the infield in, we get the outfield in too, because here with 1 out, if it's a deep fly ball, the game's going to end anyway. So you got to get to a point in the outfield to where if you do catch it, you can still make that throw home and have a chance for the double play.
0-2. On the ground to second. Gonzalez will come home and they get the force out there. Australia still alive. 2 down.
Well, Riley Gonzalez, we've talked about him defensively at second base playing in, so we're in on the grass. Takes it on 1 hop, momentum on that throw, and a good decision too at home plate by Rowan North. Not to try to turn that double play. You're not going to get him at first base. Only thing that potentially can happen is that throw gets away and the run scores. Get that out. Now just 1 out away from taking this game into extra innings.
So well done. Australia's played good defense the whole way through. Bases still loaded. 2 down in the bottom of the 6th. Edwards with that breaking ball a little bit high. 1-0. Jose Torres. 0 for 1. A good block by the catcher. You got to be able to keep the ball around home plate.
Game saver right there. Throwing north, going down to both knees. Watch this fastball down and out of the zone, and you don't have a lot of time on that fastball to go down and block it. Knees dropped, hands followed, making sure that ball can't get in between his legs. Everything in front, but now a 2-0 count to Jose Torres.
What a great game. 2-0. And that's ball 3. So now Will Edwards knows he's got to throw a strike. Takes that deep breath. Here's the 3-0. And he could not do it. It's ball 4, and that's how the game ends. Gonzalez comes in to score, and Panama will win it 3-2. What a game. And no strangers to drama in the Little League World Series. Panama does it again. And really a tremendous effort on both sides. Will Edwards has nothing to be ashamed about. He did a great job for Australia.
He did a great job, and he had every kid on that team go over and grab him, and all 3 coaches after that game. Kept him in it, threw the ball great. That was a well-played game all the way around. No errors on either side. Impressive.
And you hate to see it end that way because of all the good play on both sides. Australia is not eliminated. They are very much alive in this Little League World Series, and they have been impressive through 2 games.
Well, and they have their ace ready to go tomorrow. Clayton Campbell can throw tomorrow.
And you can let
sure he will.
Clayton just kind of let it all hang out. He can go as long as he can make it for 85 plus pitches. And I think you see the spirit in the stands. The Panamanian kids, after a heck of a win for them, they are 2-0, and Panama is set up very nicely here in Williamsport on the international side.
And for Will Edwards too, comes into this ball game and threw the ball well for 4 innings, but Panama moves on. So Panama the win. Canada, South Korea later on tonight. Panama now 2-0 in this Little League World Series.
And with a lot of pitching still available for them, we've seen the impressive bats they have. They are in good shape. Canada and South Korea still to come, as you say. The winners will meet on Wednesday. But the losers here today in these 2 international games are still alive. So the tournament is most definitely not over for Australia. A tough victory for Panama, and I mean that in a good way. They had to fight to get it. They gave up the lead in the top of the 6th, and they fought back to get that run across in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, it's a powerful team. I mean, offensively scored 10 runs in the opener today. Another home run and squeak one across in the 6th to win it. But for the kids from Australia, they have looked phenomenal so far in this Little League World Series. Win the opener and gave Panama everything they wanted today.
All right, we'll step aside and we'll wrap things up here from Volunteer Stadium when we come back. What a game we saw. Panama in the bottom of the 6th with a run. They win it 3-2. Wow, what a game we got to see on the international side here at Volunteer. Final score with a run in the bottom of the 6th. Panama outlasts Australia 3-2. Dave Fleming, Kyle Peterson back with you. That was fun and spirited and well played all the way around.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you go through a Little League game and nobody makes an error. You know that I mean, just to start, it's a crisp game. But we saw home runs. We saw a 2-run home run in the top of the 6th inning for Australia that allowed them to get to the bottom half. But Esme Pineda, the 11-year-old we've already seen hit a home run in this tournament today on the mound, was outstanding. 11 strikeouts for the 11-year-old. Pitched into the 6th inning, got to his pitch limit, then Carlos Gonzalez came in. And Joaquin Tejada, off of a kid that had not given up a hit in this Little League World Series, and that's the only hit that Clayton Campbell has given up. But that one hit gave Panama an early 1-0 lead. But here was a fireworks late for Australia. Deep to right field, 2-run home run for Brent Iredale on that tie.
So a tie game when they were down to their final 3 outs. Will Edwards, who pitched so well for Australia with the bases loaded at 2 down. And you hate to see such a well-played game end that way, but the walk ends it with the winning run for Panama. And so now the rest of the day, what a way to get it started on the international side. Coming up next, we got Tennessee and New York. That's a heck of a matchup right here on ESPN. Then you and I will be back here at Volunteer for Canada and South Korea. That one at 6 Eastern on ESPN. And Kentucky, the team that was so impressive in their opener against Iowa, upset winners against California. That's at 8 Eastern. So we'll be back here later this afternoon. But for now, Dave Fleming, Kyle Peterson saying so long from Volunteer. To get you ready for those next games, we'll send it along to Jay Crawford.
Dave Fleming, thank you very much. Wow, what a terrific game to get things going on the winner's bracket side, the international side. Just a terrific first game to set the tone for today. 3 more big games coming up throughout the day. Well, it happens every year. 16 teams from 8 from the U.S., 8 from across the world. They come here, 215 players. You never know where the stories are going to come from. But so far, without question, the moment of this World Series happened in the first round. Every year, we see those special moments. And this year, it happened on the Iowa side. Iowa playing California in its first game. California, of course, a historical superpower here on the U.S. side. Iowa had to come in feeling like they were the underdog. But they have the power of Jen Garcia. Jen is the mother of one of the Iowa players, J.T. Garcia. Jen is battling cancer, and the team has rallied around Jen. Jen was being interviewed while her son J.T. came to the plate, and it provided an unforgettable moment. Jamie Sire with the story of the Garcias and the boys from Iowa.
How important was it for you to be here watching your son play?
Oh, it was very important for me to make the trip and be able to watch the entire team play.
I was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer December 1st of last year.
Their family is phenomenal, and they've always been very important to our team, and it was devastating to our baseball family.
When you first hear that you are diagnosed with cancer, it is overwhelming and kind of takes your breath away, to be honest.
She's been so strong, trying to come here and having the doctors let her come here. Even though it's not always easy for her to get to all of our games, she tries to get there as much as she can, even if she doesn't feel the best.
He talks about that I was at 100% of his games before diagnosis, but he now knows that, I still hit 90% of his games, and he knows that I'll give anything else up to come watch him do the things that he loves.
He wears number 22, and you can see the purple bracelets that all the players wear pre-game.
Good friend of ours, when I was diagnosed, bought the bracelets for us, and we had no idea the impact that bracelet would make.
I think it's her favorite Bible verse that relates to what's going on in her life.
The verse on our bracelet is Proverbs 17:17, and it's a friend loves at all times.
And so the teammates kind of have adopted it and dedicated the season to her.
It's really special to have everybody on our team helping her whenever they can.
So we really have become, a family. You spend all your time on the weekends with your team, so. Had never been interviewed before, so it was one of my first interviews.
He was up to bat, so we figured that was a perfect time. Sat down with her, and as we're interviewing her, he hits this home run.
When I hit it, I was really excited, and when I got home, I was just crazy to know that I hit a home run here.
He wears his emotions on his sleeve, and if you watch him around the bases, it was one of the best feelings to watch. And knowing the parents and what they're going through, it was absolutely phenomenal. And then after we saw the interview, it even made it more special.
It was just a really emotional moment for everybody in the stands, for Jen, for his dad, for us even.
You can't make that up.
You cannot make that up. You can't script it.
Well, there are chills all over the ballpark now for sure. What a moment.
The journey has been fabulous with these boys. They have really shown what they're made out of. We came as the underdogs, and they have not let that affect them at all. They go out and play with their heart and soul. I just hope that with my cancer diagnosis that's one thing I can show them, right? You're the underdog, but it doesn't matter. I have cancer, it doesn't matter. You go out and you do your best and you fight every day.
Jen, not just the boys of Iowa behind you, but everyone here at the Little League World Series. That story has captivated the folks here. There is a buzz on the complex because Iowa is back in action tonight. They play in their game tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern time. They'll take on the team from Bowling Green, Kentucky. A tall task. Bowling Green here a year ago. They also won their opener. But you can bet that JT Garcia will be dialed in and ready to go, and Jen will be there cheering with all of the other Iowa fans. Earlier today, our first consolation game of this 2016 Little League World Series, it pitted Oregon against a team from Italy that really fought hard throughout this tournament. Early on, Declan Corrigan with a terrific bunt. The throw to first gets away, and that brings Caleb Carpenter on to score. And Oregon was out in front 2-0. And just a couple of hitters later, Julian Mora, 2 for 4 on this day with an RBI single. Oregon is extending their lead to 3-0, and then later in the inning, up 4-0. 2 on, 2 out for Bowen Nelson. He sends one all the way to the right field wall. Mora scores. Nelson ends up all the way around on third for a triple. Oregon scored 5 times in the inning, and they would get their first win at this Little League World Series. 6-2 the final score. So they get to take a win back to Bend, Oregon from the 2016 Little League World Series. Let's take a look now at the rest of the games to be played today. 3 to go now. Tennessee and New York, the first game from the U.S. side in the winner's bracket today. Then Canada, South Korea tonight at 6. All of these games on ESPN. And then JT Garcia and Iowa. The late game tonight, 8 Eastern, Kentucky and Iowa. Right now, let's get it over to Alameda Stadium. It is Carl Ravitch and John Kruk with the call of Tennessee, New York. Guys?